Hey folks, we hope you enjoy this episode. As me and Henry were having a yarn the other night, coming up with ideas for the channel, we realised we've mentioned Ted Abbott's name a few times. So, I gave him a buzz, and we're on our way down now to have a yarn. Let's see what happens. I've known Ted all my life. He's a very well-renowned fossicker and been one of my mentors in my own personal gold journey. We're lucky to be able to sit down for a chat. Up this YouTube channel about gold and Hill End and history, and I've mentioned you a few times, and I thought I'd come down and have a yarn to you because, I mean, you've been panning in Hill End now for like 30 years.
35 years in the school,
yeah. Yeah.
Longer than that was 35 years with the school on the backpackers. And down,
yeah. Well, I did have a couple of questions, like you've done a lot of panning around here. What was your best days panning?
Oh, up behind Caraman Waring place.
Right.
About 2 pennyweights in a dish.
2 pennyweights to a dish?
But that was about 20 odd years ago.
Yeah.
You know, little crevice up there, little crack that cleaned it out.
Do you know the conversion? Because I only work in grams now. What's the conversion from grams to pennyweights?
21 grains to a pennyweight.
21 grains to a pennyweight?
Yeah, and there's 20 pennyweights to an ounce.
20 pennyweights to an ounce.
If you look in some of your father's books, it's in that.
Yeah.
The father's on the back of it.
Yeah, I was terrible. I only work in grams. As far as the shillings, the pence, the pennyweights, it went all over my head. I had to get the scales in front of me and just weigh it. You know, one question I never did ask you is what made you sort of come to Hill End in the first place?
I used to come up here in 1960.
Right.
With the scouts, I was a scoutmaster.
Really?
I used to bring the scouts up in camp in the bottom camping ground.
Right.
Before National Parks took over. And then I met George Anderson and Ian and Robert.
Yeah.
This place was up for sale. It took me 2 years before I sold the place down in Sydney. I bought this wage paddock, Harriet Beers, 40 odd acres down further.
Right.
Whole lot, 35,000.
That's Harriet Beard's another big name in Hill End.
Yeah.
How long you were the grave digger up there for?
Yeah, 30 odd years.
30 years doing gold panning tours and grave digging. A lot of digging you've done, Ted.
I know, bloody 100 graves up there. When I first started doing them, you weren't allowed to take a machine in there.
Yeah, you had to do it by
You had
hand.
to do it by hand in 3 days.
Yeah. For one grave, eh?
Yeah. You had to go down 6 foot deep.
Yeah.
A couple of times I had to hire a jackhammer to go through that bloody soft rock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ever find any gold while you were doing it?
No gold at all.
Bugger.
The bit outside, you get a few specks at the back and I'll wash the back of it.
Yeah. Nothing in the actual cemetery.
Nothing in the cemetery.
Must be dead ground. Other than gold out with your tours, I'm just thinking, did you ever find anything else other than gold, like coins or?
I used to find a heap of Chinese coins, but I don't know what happened to them. Elvis might have taken them.
Yeah, did you end up washing them up in the pan, did you?
Pan, yeah.
Yeah, right.
And I washed out a belt buckle which belonged to a bloke named Green.
Really?
Got championships with canoe racing.
You washed up a belt buckle?
Yeah.
Yeah. From championships of canoe racing.
Yeah.
What was his name again?
Green.
Green.
And gold plated.
Really?
With the gold, all the gold worn off it.
Ah, of course.
And had the kangaroo and the emu on it.
Yeah, right.
But arse to arse.
Yeah.
They weren't face to face, they're back to front.
Huh, that's odd.
It's still here somewhere, the buckle.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good find.
Wash that up in the dish.
That and a heap of Chinese coins, eh?
Yeah, used to plenty of Chinese coins up along the Wisteria and over here to the end.
Fair income.
There's none around now, I don't think.
No, been a while since I've seen somebody wash up a Chinese coin.
Same as Devil's Dice.
Yeah, well, you still get the odd devil's dice in the pan.
Just go in the house and see Jennifer.
Yeah?
So I'll give you the big Devil's Dice.
Oh, I'd love to. Thank you. I ran inside, saw Jenny, grabbed the devil's dice, and on the way back out, I must admit, this is the biggest piece I've ever seen. They used to say that the devil had made it in the creek for the digger,
Yeah.
because the diggers back in the 1800s would find find them a bit smaller than this, put their own dots on them, yeah?
That's cubic pyrite crystal.
Cubic pyrite crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah. The diggers, they'd put their dots on them, turn them into dice, and gamble with them. They were called devil's dice for two reasons. Because the devil had made it in the creek for the digger, because whenever he rolled it, always rolled on his number. Because it was a weighted rock he'd washed up in the creek. It wasn't a real dice. Sounds about right? Yeah. 35 years of tours. Anyone find anything really good?
The biggest piece found 7 pennyweights.
7 pennyweights.
Yeah, that was the biggest pecker ever found. A few minutes I'll go up and get a bit of gold.
Oh, I'd love to have a look at a bit of gold. I can't thank you enough. We actually used your cradle the other day and got about 2 grams with it. So.
It's just about to fulfill the price.
It needs some maintenance. It definitely needs some TLC. There's no doubt about that. Ted must trust me and Henry a fair bit because he took us straight to where he stashed some of his gold. So you aren't going to see that. But have a look at some of the colour that he showed us as he's washed that up throughout his fossicking career. And have a look at those nuggets and some of that chunky colour we don't really see in the creek anymore. But it's great to view. After talking so much gold, I could see the glint in his eyes, and you wouldn't believe it, he gave us another cradle. Oh, so you didn't build this one?
No, I didn't build it.
You didn't build it, you found it in the creek, did you?
The creek, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's alright.
You found it up the creek, but you know.
Yeah?
No, but you know.
Still a bit of material in there.
Yeah.
Could still be some colour left in
if you
there.
don't want to do like you use yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll use him, I'll wash him. He'll have a place at my place, don't worry.
A little bit of carbon on there.
But yeah,
What else?
ripper. Ted, you've been a true asset to people in Hill End and for the gold panning tours. I can't thank you enough, mate. I really can't. We were pretty keen to wash up that bit of material out of the cradle that Ted gave us, so we stopped in on the creek on the way home. Ironically enough, we stopped right in the same spot that Ted used to do the gold panning tours for the school groups back in the day. Sarah's always keen for a pan, so off into the hills she goes, and I asked Henry if he could wash out that bit of material, as I've done 1,000,000 pans and something tells me I've got a few left to do yet. Now, you would think there wouldn't be any colour in a cradle this rudimentary, and especially abandoned in the hills. But a good fossicker, you know, you leave nothing to chance. You've always got to double check. And your imagination can get the best of you too. Anyway, I shouldn't brag, but I taught Henry and his brother how to pan up a couple of years ago. And watching this footage, there's always that satisfying feeling from seeing him go from a beginner to the expert panner that he is today. I'm just about on the edge of my seat here as he's condensed it right down to nothing pretty fast, as that stuff was pretty light. And that nod tells me his eyes have seen something. And here it comes. I've seen this before, and it doesn't get any better than this. That thumbs up and that smile. That's what you want to see. Look at that colour. That is some fantastic colour. A beautiful fly turd and a wonderful spray. It just goes to show you really have to double check everything. I thought about it a few times later on though. You never know, old Ted could have salted that cradle. Who knows? I wouldn't put it past the old legend. Anyway, thanks for viewing, guys. See you next time. Hello viewers, we are here today at Yorkie's Corner, helping the man himself, the legend, Malcolm Drinkwater. He's got books about gold, he's got the largest museum in the Southern Hemisphere, all about gold. And me and Henry are down here today with a mock-up scene to help him with his new documentary called After the Rush. And I cannot tell you guys how excited I am for this new documentary. So we're going to set up a little bit of a scene here, do some fake metal detecting and get out of here. We'll keep you posted.